Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. So today we're going to focus on the lower body. We're going to release some emotions that we hold in the hip, bring some healing to our bodies. It's been a stressful time for so many. Let's take a moment, just letting go of wherever we were before we rolled out our mat, turning that focus to our breath and our body. Lift up through the crown of your head, sitting in whatever position is comfortable for you, hands resting in whatever position is comfortable. Let your shoulders hang down a little bit more. Rest the eyes or have a soft gaze. Feel your breath moving through your body. Throughout this entire session, I invite you to envision new energy coming in, bringing healing energy throughout the body, filling every cell. And with every exhale, we're releasing what doesn't serve us, releasing tension, releasing emotion, and just letting go. Couple of minutes throughout every session gives us this time to just pause and feel where our body is right now. Every day is different. So we just want to check in and see how we're feeling. Relax the forehead and the jaw. Bring some space between your teeth. Let the tongue fill the roof of your mouth. Let the shoulders hang down even more. Start by dropping your chin toward your throat, not just to the chest, to the throat, finding length through the spine. We're finding a stretch at the base of the skull. Notice how this changes your breath. And then slowly lift up, back to a neutral position. We're going to take a moment and just look over one shoulder, just turn your head. Come back to center and across to the other side. Back to center. And then this time chin to chest. Drop it all the way down. Imagine that we're opening up from the space between the neck and the back. Let those shoulders hang down. Your chin falls closer to your chest. And then gently back up. Back to neutral. And again, looking over both shoulders. Turn your head from side to side. Notice if anything changed. Come back to center and across to the other side. Back to center. And then chin drops down towards the collarbone. And then we're going to trace the chin on the collarbone. So tilting the head. Almost drawing a circle or a half circle with the chin. Cross to the other side. And then chin to chest. Lifting back to neutral. One more time. Cross. Back to center. And then to the other side. What's changed? Come back to center. Do a couple of shoulder rolls. Just moving in a way that feels good. And then release. Let's unfold the legs or uncross them. Stretch them out for a moment. Draw those toes back. Point them a few times back and forth. Maybe circle a couple of times. Find a little bit more movement through the ankles. And then we're going to lift one knee up and then the other. Bring your hands behind you. You can point your fingers forward or back, whatever feels good. And we're just going to tilt those hips from side to side. Finding a little bit of movement. Still try to keep that length through the spine. Chest is lifted. Move at your own pace. Let's do a couple more rounds, just back and forth. And then we'll come back to center. We're going to bring our feet together and butterfly the knees open. So you can stay seated on a blanket if you'd like. As we're here, try to lift up through the crown of your head and just let the knees hang down. Start with your thumbs at your heels. Walk them and massage the feet. Hands, the rest are on the outside. Bring them all the way up to the ball of the feet. Maybe pressing in through the big toe and then through all the little toes. Just warming up the feet and then walking back towards the heel. We'll do one more round. So just give yourself a little rub through the feet. Let them release any tension that you're holding. Still breathing nice and deep down to the belly. And then we're going to hold. So bring those hands back. You can have them wrapped around all the toes. If you want a little bit more stretch, thumbs to the balls, rest of the fingers on the outside, peel the feet open. Lift and lengthen, and then if you'd like, fold forward a little bit. Drop your head down. Try to keep that length in your spine so that we're folding from the hips. Remember, we can always tuck blankets or blocks underneath the knees. Deep breaths all the way down to the belly, bringing that new healing energy in. And then releasing energy from the hips. Releasing tension. Relax the forehead and the jaw and the shoulders down even further. And slowly inhale and come up. Roll the shoulders back. Use the hands to bring those knees back up. And if you're sitting on a blanket, we're going to move that to the side now. We're going to take one leg at a time. So stretch that right leg out. Bring that left foot in. For a moment, just try to sit up nice and tall and then see if you can rotate your whole leg. So we have our ankle and knee following. Rotate from your hip joint. So think about coming from up here and the knee and ankle are just following as you rotate from side to side. You can put your hand on your thigh as a cue, bringing that rotation inward. Might feel a little bit through that lower back. We're opening everything up. Okay, let's come back to neutral. Straighten that leg, draw those toes towards your torso. Press your foot into your thigh and then lift and lengthen. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hinge forward, and then relax the arms down. Remember, it's not about how far you can reach. It's about length through your spine. You can always use a strap on your foot. This can help with keeping your foot nice and flat. Remember, the goal is to have the foot flat as if you had a block or a piece of wood or something on the end of your foot. Soft gaze throughout our practice. Big inhales all the way down to the belly. And then we'll release. Slowly come up. And we're going to switch. So left leg's going to stretch. Right foot's going to come towards the thigh, just nice and relaxed at first. And then we're going to rotate. So again, maybe hands on your legs. Think about rotating out and then rotate in. Use the legs. So that rotation is coming from up here. It's not the ankle, okay? Whole leg is rotating back and forth. Try to still keep that length through the spine. Do a couple more. Just back and forth, finding that movement in the hip. Okay, let's come back to center. Straighten out that leg. Draw the toes towards the torso. Press that other foot into the thigh. Inhale, lift and lengthen, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Relax the arms down. Relax the head. And take a few breaths. Try to breathe all the way down to your belly in every pose. Lengthen through your lower back. And then release. Inhale, come up. Straighten out that right leg. Move the meat of the thighs. Hips, knees, and ankles perfectly straight. Toes drawing back. Lengthen. Maybe you have to have bend in the knees so you have a nice straight spine. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Hinge from your hips. Relax the head down. Take 2 or 3 breaths here first. And then as you inhale, see if you can lift and lengthen through the spine a little bit, and then fold a little bit more on your exhale. So inhale, lift. Exhale, fold a little bit more. One more time, lengthen and fold. Holding for 1 breath. And then slowly coming up. Roll the shoulders back, sit up nice and tall. And then we're going to bend that right leg. And we're going to bring it over to the other side. Press into your foot. See if you can keep both sit bones on the mat. The option is there to bend the left leg in if it feels good. Lift and lengthen. Try to find that great stretch around the outside of the hip. And then if you'd like, lift up and then bring the inside of the elbow. Left hand to the right knee. And then that right hand comes behind your hip. Lengthen. And then if it feels good, you can look over the shoulder or just keep the head neutral, nice and relaxed, working on that soft gaze. Taking a few breaths. Draw that right sit bone towards the mat. Lengthen through the crown of your head and then let the shoulders hang down. One more nice big breath. And then we'll release. Ease off. Let's unwrap those legs. Stretch them out long. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Release that lower back. Let your head hang down. Find that feeling of the lower back opening. Draw those toes toward your torso. And then we'll inhale and come up. Sit up nice and tall. Left leg comes up this time first, then we cross it over. Option to stay here, or again, you could bend that right leg underneath. You might need to adjust. Press that foot into the ground. Push your left hip towards the earth. That's how we get that stretch. Lift and lengthen, and then right elbow to the knee, turning left hand by the hip. Head's neutral or looking over the shoulder. Focus on length through your spine. Pressing your sit bones into the mat. Left foot presses into the mat as well. Big breaths, drawing that new healing energy in, filling every cell. Feel the belly expand into your thigh. And with each exhale, release what doesn't serve you. Two more nice big breaths here. And then release. Come back to center, unwrap the legs, stretch them out long again. Draw those toes back, make sure you're still on your sit bones. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Notice the difference in your spine and your hips. Relax the head down. Take a moment. Relax the space between your eyes and soften through the jaw. Space between your teeth. Soft gaze. And then inhale will come up. Slowly roll those shoulders back. And we're going to come onto the hands and knees. So if you'd like, you can tuck a blanket underneath the knees. And take a moment. Find our wrists under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. Spread your palms nice and wide. Unlock the elbows. Relax the feet so that the top of the feet are on the mat. Engage your abs for a moment. Find the neutral position. Head's just gazing maybe a little bit in front of the hands. And we're going to circle for a moment. So we're going to draw our hips out to the left side and then around towards the heels. And then out to the other side and then back to center. And then we'll go the other way. So bring the hips out to the right, around to the other side and to center. We'll do one more each side. Go out first and then towards your heels, out to the other side and then to center. Last one. Back to center. And then we're going to come into child's pose for a few breaths. So shoot your hips towards your heels, relax the arms, rest your head on your mat or your palms or block. Take a moment. Notice how your lower back and your hips feel. Use your forehead resting on whatever surface as a cue to relax a little bit more. And check in on your breath. This is the perfect opportunity to fill every inch of your lungs. All the way down through the belly, feeling it expand into your thighs. Two more breaths here.
We always slowly come up on our inhales, coming back to tabletop. Maybe checking in on your position and your palms, unlocking the elbows, making sure the feet are relaxed. And then we're going to take the right leg back. Press your toes into the floor of the mat, spread them nice and wide, so look back. Then push out of your palms and press your heel into the ground. With that great alignment, hip, knee, and ankle, one line, all the way down to the earth. One more big breath on this side. Big push, big stretch through the leg, and then release. Bring that knee back underneath the hip. Maybe you realign, and then left side. Spread all those toes onto the floor of the mat. Press that weight evenly from the big toe to the little toe. That's what gets you the most out of this stretch. So try to find that even feeling in the foot. Few more big breaths here. Making sure you have that hip, knee, and ankle in alignment. And then release. Come back. Bring the palms out about a foot ahead. And then just push out and bring those hips back a little bit. Find a big spine stretch here. Find that length through the lower back. Relax the head down. Length through the arms so there's not so much weight in your palms. We have to engage the abs to hold this position a little bit. And then we'll release. We'll come back. We'll bring those hands close to a tabletop, but we're going to bring them to the left side. And we're going to take our right leg to the front. So see how you can get there. It might take a couple of tries, but we're going to see if we can bring that right foot towards the front and side of our mat. Now you can come up, having your hands on your thighs. You could bring your arms overhead if you want that challenge, but see if you can bring your knee over your ankle and then just lean into it. So you're getting a stretch through that left hip. Now you could always bring your hands down to the mat if that feels good. Some people might be able to get the forearms down, but it's completely up to you. You can always use your toes to kind of grip the mat and move forward a little bit more. That will intensify the stretch through the front of the hip. If your arms are down, you can press your shoulder into your knee. That's going to give you a little bit more stability, keeping that knee in line with the ankle as well. We're going to take one more breath here. So wherever you are. And then we're going to slowly release. So come back a little bit. And we're going to draw those toes back towards our torso. So this might be a little bit of a challenge here. You might touch with your fingers on the mat, or you might see if you can come up. Draw your toes back. Get a big stretch through the leg here. There is an option to fold, but just holding right here is a big challenge of our balance. And then we're going to release. So bend that leg, bring the hands to wherever's comfortable, and then bring that leg back. This is our big push before we turn and come to our back. So we're going to bring those hands to the other side. We're going to get that left foot up there however we can. Again, maybe we use those toes and we kind of shimmy it forward. And then we have our hands on our legs. We could have the arms overhead or down on the ground. You could use blocks to help get you a little bit higher. You could use a blanket. The goal is a great stretch through the front of your hip right here. So try to breathe into it again. Make sure that your right foot is relaxed.
that weight is even on your left foot. And if your palms are on the mat, they're pressed and wide. So every inch of the palm is on the mat. Take one more breath here. Okay, and then we're going to slowly shift back. So again, we're going to shift and we're going to see, can we curl those toes back? So draw them back at a big stretch. You can, again, challenge your balance and come up. You'll notice one side is better than the other. Still gaining that strength back from the broken foot. Quite the challenge. Okay, let's release. Bring that foot back and then come back into those knees being in line with the hips, feet relaxed. Bring the arms out in front and let's go into a child's pose, noticing the difference in your hips. Relax the torso down, rest the head on the mat or blocks. How does your lower back feel? How are your hips? And then focus in on your breath. So fill with new energy, healing the body, relaxing the mind, taking a moment, resting fully. Take a couple more big breaths here, filling that belly, feeling it expand into your thighs. And then we inhale and we slowly come up, so you can bring those arms back first. Inhale and come up. And then we'll slowly turn. And we'll come to lay on our backs. However you want to get there, just take a moment. Coming down nice and slow. Realign your position. Lifting the hips so that the lower back is nice and flat on the mat. You can have your knees up with the hips, knees, and ankles in alignment, or feet out to the edge of your mat and knees in towards the center. Whatever feels best for you. You can have your hands on your belly or your palms to the sky. Rest the eyes for a moment. As we're here with each inhale, feel the lungs from front to back. Feel your back pressing into the mat. So 2 more breaths. And then we're going to bring the arms down the side of the body. They come close to the body. The hands are by the hips so that we can press into the palms and shoulders. Hips, knees, and ankles go in alignment. Fingers might brush the backs of the heels. And then we're going to press the lower back into the mat. And then we're going to lift the vertebrae one at a time all the way up for a small bridge. Squeeze through the glutes. Lift those hips as high as feels comfortable. Check in, chin lifted towards the sky so that the neck's in a neutral position. And then slowly roll back down, one vertebrae at a time. Take a breath. Relax for that breath. And then one more time. Press the lower back into the mat and then lift the vertebrae one at a time. So you come all the way up. Now you might lift the shoulders so you can tuck them in a little bit more, lifting a little bit higher through the hips. You could lace the fingers behind the back. Check that that weight is even in the feet. You could take a yoga block and squeeze it between the thighs. And now we're going to release the arms if they're laced, and then slowly One vertebrae at a time. Roll back down. Release the arms. Bring one knee up and then the other. Hug them in tight on the outside or behind the knees. You could circle or rock from side to side. Whatever feels good. And then release. Let the feet hit the floor first and then stretch the legs out long. Find your neutral position. Nice relaxed spine. Chin still lifted towards the sky. Spine perfectly straight. We're going to start by lifting that right leg up. Draw the knee in towards the chest with both hands. Now you could stay here. If you want to work on the sciatica, keep the hands pulling, but this time behind the knees, toes to the sky. So lift those toes up. Use the hands to pull towards the chest. Remember, shoulders are relaxed down. The feet are relaxed. We're just using the arms to open up through the hips. So keeping them nice and level. And then we use this time to focus in on our breath again. Two more breaths. Okay, we're going to bend that leg. Bring both hands to the outside for a moment. And then right hand only is going to pull up, tuck the elbow into the thigh, and then let your knee open to the right side. Both feet are still relaxed. We're just using that right arm to pull up towards the chest as gravity pulls the knee down towards the earth. Left hand can go to the left hip as a cue to keep it on the mat. Take a few breaths and try to release any energy you're holding in the hips. And then we're going to come back to center. So pull the knee into the chest. Both hands pull in nice and tight. And then switch. Left hand only is going to pull up. Right hand relaxes down. And then pull across the body about 45 degrees. Think about drawing your right hip towards the mat. And we're pulling, if we don't feel it, we're going to pull up again and then go across. Belly might be touching the thigh again. We use that as a cue. Breathe deep all the way down. Two more breaths. And then come back to center. Draw your knee in towards your chest. Hug it in nice and tight. And then stretch that right leg out long. Find your neutral position. Nice relaxed spine. And then switch. So left leg comes up. Use both hands, knee to chest. Hug it in nice and tight. Relax both feet. Relax head, neck, and shoulders. And then again, that option is there. Toes to the sky. Hands behind the knee. Pulling towards the chest. Try to have both hips nice and level. Checking in on our breath again as we hold. We imagine drawing that healing energy all the way down through every inch of the body. And with each exhale, we're releasing tension. We're relaxing just a little bit more. Take a couple of more breaths here. Diving in deep to the hips to release any emotions we're holding. And then we'll release that by bending the knee. Bring both hands to the outside, knee to chest. Left hand only, elbow tucks into the thigh, right hand relaxes maybe on the hip. Pull up and then let that left leg hang open to the left side. Right away, check in. Are both feet relaxed? We're not holding any tension in the body. We're just using the arm to pull up as gravity pulls down. And take a couple of more breaths here. And then let's come back to center. Use both hands to pull the knee to the chest first, and then switch. Left hand's going to relax, right hand pulls up, and then we go about 45 degrees. Across the body, press your left hip down. And again, if you're not feeling it, come back to center. Pull up towards the chest a little bit more, and then go across. Try to relax both your feet again. Relax the upper body. Feel the belly expand into the thigh. Nice deep breaths. Two more breaths here. Finding that great stretch. And then we'll come back to center, knee to chest. Pull it in tight. Bring the other one up to meet it. Wrap your arms around. You can even lift your head up off the mat if you'd like, tucking in a little bit more. And then release. Let the feet hit the ground. Stretch the legs out long. Reach the arms overhead. Find a big stretch through the whole body, from the fingers to the toes. Open up through the front of the hips. And then release. Relax the arms. Take the feet a little bit wider. Let them dangle to the side naturally. You can have your hands on your belly or your hips or palms to the sky. And take a few deep breaths here. Relax the forehead again. Release the space between the eyes. Relax the jaw, bring in a gap through the teeth. Let your shoulders fall to the earth and your limbs feel heavy. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Just taking this time, allowing our bodies to reabsorb all that energy we've moved around. Just a small moment of our practice, but it's so key to let our bodies have this time in a neutral position. Couple more breaths here. Take two more big inhales. And then sigh. Release any tension. One more time. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale. Release. Start bringing the energy back to your body by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Roll the wrists and the ankles. If it feels good, bring those feet together and the arms overhead for one more stretch.
from the fingers through the whole body down to the toes. And then release. Lift one knee and then the other. Lift your hips, move them to one side, and then roll towards the other. Moving slowly, you can pause for a breath or two. And then we use that top arm to slowly push up. Back into our seated position. Taking a moment to notice how we feel. Lift through the crown of your head again. Let the shoulders hang down. Take a few breaths. Again, relaxing the space between your eyes, softening through the jaw, neck, and shoulders. Let a smile wash over to carry throughout the day, and with an inhale, lift the arms up. Bringing the hands together, we'll bring them down to the heart. We end class by acknowledging the light in me is the same light within you. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.